We've got Greg Arnold on here too. Okay, so here's where we picked up last time. I remember someone once told me that I was such an arrogant, overbearing ass I could have written a book about it. So that's funny that Greg Arnold is on here because he wrote the book. But at the same time, he's not an arrogant, overbearing ass. He just wrote the book, and he did not write How Not to Win Friends and Influence People like we talked about on Friday. Now we're going to get into the meat of this thing. And like I said, I'm going to read a couple of pages until something hits me that I want to talk to you guys about. The first rains had hit Fresno, and so the foggy season had started. Sometimes the fog is so thick in Central California that as you're driving in it in the early mornings or late evenings, you can't even see the dashboard inside your own car. My Tuesday wasn't going so well. By noon, I'd already read the riot act to 3 of my dumb downline distributors for not dressing right and not working hard enough and not following my orders. At 2 o'clock, their sponsor, who is direct to me, called to say the 4 of them didn't deserve to be treated that way and they were quitting. I told him, "Who needs you, you big loser," and hung up. He was such an idiot. He couldn't have been more successful if you gave it to him. I don't know why I recruited him in the first place. At 3 o'clock, my upline sponsor called me to discuss the problem, so I told him the only problem I had was being surrounded by idiots and to mind his own business. And then I hung up on him too. Didn't these people know what a talented person I was and how lucky they were to have me around? I didn't have to take this kind of abuse from them. There were lots of people waiting to abuse me. Just that evening, just before our group's weekly opportunity meeting, my only active downline leader, Mike Superstar, not his real name, called to tell me that I was the biggest horse's rear on the face of the planet. He also said he was quitting and taking his entire team to another MLM company. Then he suggested a nice warm vacation spot I should visit and hung up on me. This just wasn't my day. Needless to say, I was so mad I could eat nails. What an ungrateful so-and-so. How dare he speak to me that way when it was I who gave him his big start in MLM? Why, if it weren't for me, he'd still be a well-liked, successful, never mind what he was before. The point is, I sponsored him. He's supposed to be loyal no matter how much I abused him. I don't understand. Why me? So many others have joined MLM opportunities and become millionaires 12 days later. But they're lucky and have never had to put up with the downlines and uplines like I've had, like Mike Superstar. I'll show them, I'll quit. Then they'll all wish they had me back. Yeah, they won't have Greg Arnold to kick around anymore. I remember that big lie my upline leader told me about how everyone pays their dues before they become successful, and how overnight success only takes about 15 years of hard work. What a bunch of baloney. How could anyone believe that story about me, the millionaire restaurant owner who started as an immigrant who came to this country but nothing but a dream and a few coins in his pocket? He told me about how he bought some wieners and buns, and a few minutes after stepping off the boat, he was in business for himself and selling hot dogs on the street corner. He said America is everyone's land of opportunity if you're willing to pay the price. If that story was true, the little immigrant was lucky. He didn't have to worry about the security, and no one told him to get no one told him to get an education so he could get a good job. He didn't have a college education peer group, no high school reunions to go to, no Joneses to keep up with. He didn't feel any pressure to fit into society. If people didn't have to worry about all that mess, anybody could become a millionaire business owner. Right then, a good job seemed pretty good. No more meetings, no more sponsoring, no more products, no more books to read, no more hope, no more dreams, no more personal growth, no more Mike Superstar. But then again, who was I kidding? I didn't really want to work for someone else. I couldn't see letting someone else tell me when to go to work, when to take a break, when to eat lunch, when to take vacations, how much money I could make, where I could live, where my kids could go to school, and what kind of friends I could have. But then again, some friends I had, they were just lucky I wasn't really quitting. But then again, who did that Mike Superstar think he was? So, we'll stop there. What do you think about that? Greg Arnold, like, now that you're on the show, now that you're on the big show, 6:30 in the morning in this beautiful, wonderful, warm place called Colorado. I'm going to introduce you a little bit. Greg lived down in Panama. He was a huge network marketer with another company. I've owned him for more than 20 years. He flew up here and he jumped in the foxhole and he's doing the 4x4. He's doing all kinds of stuff and he's being unbelievably successful. He uses the coffee shop interview. He trains the coffee shop interview. He gets in the game. He does 2-on-1 meetings with his team every day of the week. He's so busy out there right now with his team that they have to have an online calendar to get an appointment with him 5 days out. He is walking his talk. Greg Arnold, how are you this morning? You have to talk. Do you have it muted, honey?
I don't believe so.
Okay, well, he might have gone back to bed. That's okay. He got up and said good morning, and it's so early in the morning he might have gone back to sleep. But Greg, I'm going to tell you his story just because I think it's kind of important. Guess what? He was down in Panama. He was retired. And we did the copy shop interview on him several times. And we kept looking at what was missing in his life. And what was missing for Greg Arnold, he had money. He had time. He was down in Panama, no cost of living. But you know what? There was a greatness lurking within Greg Arnold that he knew was there, but he didn't know anybody else knew was there. And I kept hitting that button over and over and over again, telling him about who I saw and what he could be. Just like I tell several of you, there is so much that I see that if you could see, it would be all over but the crying. Greg Arnold took that bait. He came up to Colorado. He joined Denise and I, and he started building an organization. He hasn't slowed down. He's put some systems in that I never thought possible in network marketing. Did you notice I said systems? He is building a dynasty. He is planning on being a triple diamond by the end of this year. And I have doubts about that. I have serious doubts about that. But my doubt is that it's going to take that long. Not that it's going to be by the end of the year, but the fact that he's moving so fast, I think he'll do it long before the end of the year. How many triple diamonds do each and every one of you guys need on your top line for each and every one of you guys to be set for life? Is it worth interviewing somebody every day? Yeah. Is it worth interviewing 2 people every day? Yeah. Just interview 2 people. Figure out what it is that they want out of their life and then show them how to get it out of longevity, and you are going to have it made in the shade. That's all there is to this business. The Multi-Level Mangler and the King Arthur's Court is a terrific book, and we are going to have a lot of fun with this book. I love the humor in it. I love how great the message is. I love the fact that they're talking about things that are relevant for us in this book. I mean, how many times do you get mad at your upline? How many times do you get mad at your downline? How many times do you secretly say you're going to quit? You know, this thing that just happened to Denise and I, that really shook the core of me because I'd never believed that a company like the other company that we just left would steal our check. And it kind of made the industry suspect for me. I stood back and I said, man alive, is this really where I want to be for the rest of my life? Is this really what I want to do? And I looked at the alternatives, and I looked at the ability to be able to build a $20,000 or $30,000 a month paycheck in a couple of years. And I said, you know what? Not only is this where I want to be, it's where I have to be. And it is the only place I can do that. And all I need to do is stop feeling sorry for myself, and Denise to stop feeling sorry for herself. And we need to step on our horse. We've got 2 kids in college right now, and both of them are going to schools that cost over $20,000 a year. So what do? Do you say, wow, I think I'm going to sleep all day? Or do you say, no, I'm going to get up and I'm going to generate something big because I've got an education to pay for. And when we finally get those kids out of school, I know we're going to have another goal that's going to be fun that we want to do. And I'm telling you, I want to retire in this business. I want you guys to write down your goals today. I want you to think about it from there, where you are going to believe in yourself, you're going to believe in the industry, you're going to believe in your team, and you're going to believe in the axiom of hard work. This isn't easy. They call it network marketing, not net play marketing. You've got to have a plan, you've got to execute it, and it starts today by finding 2 good people and interviewing them and seeing if they make the cut for your business, if they're going to fit inside of that box. You want to look for a Greg Arnold. You want to look for a Sandy Ellsberg. You want to look for a Ken Smith. You want to look for a Herb and Susan La Madrid. You want to look for a John Boyd. You want to look for people like that. And pretty soon I'm going to be saying 8 names to you. 8 names. Judd Sandlian. 8 names. 8 legs. Then we find 1 more and we're triple diamond. That's the goal for us. I want it to be the goal for you. Let's hop on that horse. Let's get it there. Tomorrow morning, same time, same station. I'll make sure Greg Arnold sticks around to introduce himself and tell us about his book. We'll see you all tomorrow.